What's up, Group Coach Nation? Let's answer questions. So I love doing this. I get to do this like once a month or so when we're kind of between content and other guests on our show. Here's the fun of this. We get so many questions in, and I'm compiling these best we can. And let me just answer questions. So I have 25 minutes on the clock. Let's go. I'm going to do as best I can to answer your questions about how launching your mastermind, your group coaching program works, content, how to generate leads, sales, everything we can. Like, I'm just going to dive in and rapid fire this thing. So if you have questions while we're live, feel free to ask them. I'll do my best to clarify. I'll hang in as long as I can. And if you have more questions after this, drop them in the chat or send us a DM or something. Ask your questions. We will compile them and make sure we get them in the next batch. Maybe every couple of weeks we do this. I don't know. Okay, here we go. What absolute must-haves inside your mastermind that projects the value of investment? Pam asked that. What are the absolute must-haves inside your mastermind that project the value of the investment? Great question. So here's the value situation with masterminds or e-courses or books for that matter. Anything you're selling when it's coming down to information, the value comes down to, can the person using it, taking it, being a member of the mastermind, whatever, can they actually get results? Okay. What results are they going to get? If they actually do what you say to do and they're the right person for it, what results will they get? We're super careful about screening who gets into our masterminds because we want them to get results, right? We know our stuff works. It just comes down to, is this the right craftsman to have these tools to be able to get that right result, right? That's important. Make sure they're going to get the result and then value your mastermind based on that. Okay. That's super important. The value comes down to the result they're going to get, not how many courses, how many giveaways, how many templates, sessions. Is it 1 year or 12 weeks, whatever. In fact, the simpler and the less content and the shorter amount of time, the better. For most of us, we're selling a transformation. Why would I want to take a whole year to get that transformation when I could just hang out with you for 12 weeks and get that transformation? And why make it more complicated than it needs to be? Like, give me what I need to do to start. We're all super busy. Make it simple, Pam. Hope that answers your question. Okay, let's see here. Next one up, we have niche specific groups, question mark, from Diana. Yeah, the riches are in the niches, as they say. And it's true. It really is. You got to go down niches. I know some people are generalists, but you notice the bigger the market, if somebody has an enormous market, an enormous marketing company, they can be more generalized. And then you're going to see those people who are hyper successful you've seen out there, some big names, they can talk generalization and it works. Then there's people who are like so not successful who talk generalization and it doesn't work for them. Okay. But all of us that are kind of in this middle space, niches are important. When you're starting, you got to niche in. And then until you get mega big, you got to have that niche. A person like, let me think of someone. Oh, I can't think of her name. Oh my gosh. She's so freaking awesome. I'll think of her name in a minute. She teaches a lot of online course stuff, like how to do online courses. In fact, actually, Kim Garst, a friend of mine, Kim Garst has been our mastermind. Kim Garst is genius at this. She's actually doing some rebranding for us. Kim Garst is amazing at this. She has an enormous market. She's super big out there, and she has the opportunity to be more general in who she communicates to because she helps people with social media and like actually making a difference on social media and really getting clients off of social media. But she can use that tool for a lot of ranges. But when you're just starting out or until you're as big and popular as Kim Garst, you got to be niche down. Okay. Next question. Hope that helps Diana. Jennifer. Jennifer, you say leveling up. Leveling up. Yes, level up. Not sure what that means, Jennifer, but yes, level up. I think if you're just joining one of our programs and you're like dropping a line there, leveling up, good for you. Like, I'm super proud of you. I can't tell you how much that means to me and inspires me. Not to see Jennifer say that, but just when I saw a buddy in a coffee shop earlier and he's a mountaineer, ice climber. People who are leveling up in whatever it is in their life, that's inspiring. Keep it up. Way to go, Jennifer. Inspire others. Okay. Focus and intent of your mastermind. How do I decide? Annika said that. Yes, Annika, great question. The focus and intent of your mastermind comes off of, believe it or not what you think you're awesome at, not what you would like write an outline about. It comes off of what your market wants. Okay, so hopefully you've aligned yourself with a group of people in a market who actually need something you can provide for them. All right, that's step one. Yes, they have to have the money to be able to pay you, and they have to actually need what you can do, right? What's your product or service that you can help them with? All right, that's it. Everything else, Annika, really comes down to you getting into that market and asking them real questions in direct messages, on calls, in groups, whatever. Hey, what's going on? I'm here to serve. Here's kind of what I do. Here's who you guys are. How can I help? Like, what if I could just help people right now? What would it be? When you ask those kind of questions, Annika, that actually gives you so much insight into what they want. Because the intent and direction of your mastermind or group coaching program should not be based on your PhD level of knowledge about your expertise. Yeah, you're qualified to teach this stuff. That's what that means. But it's not what's going to sell it. What's going to sell it is asking them, where are you stuck? What can I help with right now? It is so basic, and we're all so smart, we miss that. But it is so, so basic. You've probably noticed, like I have, the people that I look at that are like, that just instantly get success in this. I'm like, what? That was so simple. I'm not even sure that person's that bright at what they do. And they had wild success. It's because they are bright and they just simplified what their market wants. They didn't get all tangled up with their brightness. They stayed simple. Good question, Annika. Again, if anybody has questions, we're going along to clarify, please fire away. Kimberly, cool. Kimberly, love the group you're launching. Okay, podcast monetization. What's your thought on charging guests to be on your show? Well, that's a cool question. I am not a charger of guests on my show. I have charged people and had them donate to a charity of their choice or a charity of my choice to be on a show. I come across that more and more in podcasts that have larger audiences now, and I think that's a really cool plan. People like John Lee Dumas, who I love and respect, has done a great job with charging people to be on his show, but that's a very unique situation. Okay, he's got an enormous audience and a lot of downloads, and people pay for the opportunity to market to his audience. That's really what it comes down to. Or I guess you could say for an opportunity to get a start at a relationship with John Lee Dumas. That's unusual, all right? And you have to have a really big audience and intent to do that. People go down the path of like generating ads and sponsorships and all those kind of things, Patreons, whatever. That stuff is super, super slow. You have to have huge audience numbers to make any of those plans work, including charging to be on your show, unless you have this audience that everybody just has to get in front of. But again, that takes time. Honestly, Kimberly, I would go after the things that are like right in front of you. What are you doing? What's your consulting you're done for your service, whatever it is? What are you doing, right? Use podcasting as a way to talk about that and empower people and help change their core beliefs around that topic so you can help them. But also invite guests, or you've all heard this, invite guests that you can sell, right? Okay, a little bit tired. Go on shows where the host needs your help. Help another host. That host needs your help and expertise. That audience needs your help and expertise. That's a really important play. And if you can find that connection, you'll find success and you'll be selling not opportunities to be on your show, but opportunities to actually coach, help, invest in, and do one-on-one service, whatever you do for those people. Obviously, a group coaching model or mastermind is going to make that way more efficient. You're going to be way happier with that long term. Blake Fly, what's up, buddy? Man, it's so great to see you. Thought about you the other day. Actually, Blake's an amazing speaker. He's impacted so many people's lives. If you want to know how to get on the best stages ever, you need to just reach out to Blake. He's right there on the screen right now. Blake Fly, look him up. Blake has a cool group about that. Blake, my daughter came home yesterday and said there were some Marines and BMX bikers at her school talking about anti-bullying. They spent like 2 hours in the auditorium or in the gym with all the students. And she said she loved it. And I thought about you. I thought, man, Blake Fly delivers those kind of conversations and changes people's lives. That's the first thing that popped in my head. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Next question. Cheyenne. Closing. I'm going to go ahead and package that one up with closing high ticket sales from Jason and Cheyenne. Okay. Closing and high ticket sales. Here's the magic of closing and high ticket sales. It's not in the sales presentation. Yes, you need to have a sales script or process that you follow. Be a professional, right? Surgeons have a process they follow. Airplane pilots have a process they follow. Attorneys have a process they follow. CPAs have a process they follow. The best Olympic athletes you watch have a process they follow. Have a process you follow. If you want to win, have a process. If you don't have a process, call us. We got processes, right? Okay. Here's the thing. It's the setup though. It's not the process. That's like saying I walk into a bar, I'm looking for that special someone. I've got my special someone, by the way. Jill's awesome. But let's say you're walking into a bar, you're looking for that special someone for the rest of your life. You're looking for your soulmate. So you're going to walk into a bar, party, whatever, and you got your closing down, right? You're a rockin' closer. So you're going to roll in, offer somebody a drink, make a one-liner, and then ask them to marry you. I don't know. Maybe 1 in a million times that happens, and it's for a good movie. But really, in real life, that's not it. It's the setup that makes the soulmate connection happen. You got to get to know somebody. You got to be authentic. You got to be real, and you got to do the stuff. Blake, what's up, buddy? You got a question? Fire it away, man. If I knew how to bring you on live, I would do it right now, Blake, but type your question in. So yeah, ultimately, make sure that you set up the close and the sale correctly. That is so important, because the close, the high ticket sale, comes from a direct process that you can master, not a weird script, just a very intentional process to help people make a decision and find out if the decision you're recommending is the right one for them. Just, you got to be honest, folks, or it burns you. And then it's the setup. It really comes down to a very relational setup. Ads, direct messages, your social media post, whatever, lots of ways to start relationships. A lot of those are very slow, expensive ways, but you need to find out who you are, who you're serving. Lean in, ask us questions about that stuff. It's not hard to find out what is the right way for you to reach clients and turn that on quickly. It's just different for each person. So lean in, ask questions. We got great staff on my team. They'll help you figure that out. Okay. Good questions. Owen, there's your Blake. Let me answer your question real quick. Blake, I wish I could bring you on here live. What shifted for you from when you had your first few high ticket groups and when you found your enrollment stride to fill your groups? Blake, good question. So when we're starting our first groups, no matter who you are, where you are, and what niche you're in, your first couple of groups are like a constant uphill battle to just like get them full. All right. Your first mastermind groups, high ticket coaching groups, whatever you want to call them. Because you got to go out and find like 5, 10, 15 clients at a time, put them in there. And that's a lot of clients. That's, for a lot of people, their year's worth of clients in one hit, right? Okay, that's doable. We teach that process. But when does it actually get easier? It gets easier truly for us, Blake, and for most folks, it's around that 3rd to 5th group. That's where it gets easier, because you kind of get known for what you're doing. Referrals start to come in, and you've really practiced that like connection to your market, direct messages, posting out there, doing whatever you do, finding the voice that you're speaking with and the people you're speaking to. That process of discovering that, like, as you know from speaking to large audiences, that process of like finding, okay, what resonates when I'm on stage really makes a huge difference. And I don't mean me doing this kind of thing on stage. I mean, like, if you're speaking to someone directly in a direct message, let's say on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, and you're like actually having a conversation with them, that right there is a really important piece. But that is educated, that who am I talking to and what are we talking about is educated by who's purchased the last 2 or 3 mastermind group seats and how were their results, right? Because those people influence, oh, I want to be meeting and talking to more people like this about these things. That flywheel effect, for lack of a better term to call it, is really important. Hope that clarifies, Blake. The last tip there, and Blake, you know this, the last tip there for everybody else is like, totally be looking back at the clients you've served, the ones you've sold, even if you don't have a group coaching program or mastermind yet. Look back at who you've sold, who you've worked with, your one-on-one done for you clients, whatever it was, and look at that and say, who are those people? What made them resonate with me? Even if you're like, but I want to teach and do something different, that's okay. A person resonated with you, leaned in, and bought from you for a reason. There's a connection there. Understand that connection, because that type of person, there's a lot more of those out there. And those type of people will want to learn from you about your new topic or your existing topic. Blake, great question. If that didn't get you, let me know. Okay. Owen, great question here. Owen, checklist for your business systems. And then I got somebody else, Christopher, saying business mindset. And then business strategies. Let's hit all 3 of those real quick. And then in a session, I want to get to recession-proof strategies. Oh, that's a good one too. Okay. These business systems, mindset around those systems and processes. Yes. process. You got to have systems in place. And I can't say this enough. You've heard me say this before so many times. You need to have somebody helping you. I know a lot of us love being a solopreneur, but truly you're not going to grow very far or very fast until you have a helper. All right. You need to have a virtual administrator, some team member who can help you. It doesn't matter really where they are in the world. What matters is that they're able to follow your instruction and help you run the systems and processes you're going to run. All right. Yeah. A lot of things you can automate, get a good CRM, but a lot of things are things that you have to kind of babysit and like be on top of and handle as the process is working. So you can have, in fact, I was watching the Tesla factory, like something about that recently. It's just so cool. So automated in there, right? But there's still people making sure the automations go well and handling the nuances of what comes up. That's really common, and even more so in marketing, because you're not using a automated system or a bot or an ad or whatever you want to automate to reach robots. You're reaching real people, which means there's going to be a lot of variability, and you need somebody to help you with that. Otherwise, you'll be stuck managing variability and not leading, teaching, training, selling, whatever your high value time should be spent on. Okay. Have the systems, have a person. I know I spent more time on the person than on the systems, but ultimately you need a task and project management suite, and you need a CRM, client resource management tool. Once you have those two things, everything else is pretty easy. You can do both of those on a fancy spreadsheet, but it's okay. Pay a few bucks, get the free version, get the basic version if you want to go bare bones, have a task and project management and a client resource management. A lot of the CRMs use some sort of task and project management in them now, which is honestly pretty good. It doesn't help you manage the tasks and projects that are outside of the clients. Like, oh, I'm going to build a webinar. Not so good at running those kind of tasks, but all the tasks around a prospect or client, they're good at that. So have one of each of those. Keep it simple. Have a person to help you. Well, Chris, I've hired a bunch of people and they've all been horrible. No, honestly, that's probably because you were not a great manager. That's okay. I wasn't either when I started. But step up, learn to find the right person, and learn to help that person succeed. Lots of great books about that. Lean and ask questions. I'm sure we can recommend a few. Okay. Next up, good questions. Recession-proof strategies. Yolanda, oh, I like this question. What are some recession-proof strategies? Now, let's just think about this. Let's go back. What is it? It's 2022 right now, and I'm recording this. For those of you listening a long time from now, it's September 2022. So we're hearing about recessions all the time on the news, just like we were in 2008, 9, 10, whatever. And just like we were at another time halfway in between here and there. We've had a big virus situation on the planet for a couple of years, lots of political upheaval, and different wars come and gone. Like it's real out there, right? You know what? It was real out there 50 years ago, and it was real out there 80 years ago, and it was real out there 100 years ago. If anything, the most recession-proof strategy you can have is getting out there and staying active and helping people. Okay? I don't want to oversimplify that. Yeah, Yolanda, that's a really good question. And here is the oversimplification of it. And I don't mean to oversimplify it. I just think it and truly believe that it is this simple. You've got to serve your people. Okay? It is so important that you find a group of people who you like working with, who can afford to pay you, and who need your skill set. Okay? You like working with them. There's lots of different types out there, right? Some people you just aren't going to get along with. No worries. They can afford to pay you, and they actually need your skill set, right? If you can match those three things up, you will find the simplest way to help them with their biggest needs, and they'll be able to pay you for it, and you'll love doing it. Okay, recession or not, they're going to need your help. All right. What's up, Pip? So good to see you. If you need help, guys, with any kind of Google traffic, SEO, like paid or organic stuff. Honestly, the organic stuff, Pip, you're a genius at. You're great at the paid stuff too, I know, but like lean in on Pip. She's right there on the screen. Pip Seymour. Okay, Pip, so good to see you. My gosh, it's been a while. When it comes to recession proofing things, Yolanda, back to your question, find the people you like working with that can afford to pay you, and you have a skill set that can help them overcome their problems. All right. I love you too, Pep. It's so good to see you. When you find those three things, serve, 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 Yolanda, and get paid for it. Your recession proofness will come from that level of service. Your level of service is going to require, get this, that you hear what's actually going on with them. So as a recession comes and goes, as a global pandemic comes and goes, as wars come and go, as political situations come and go, your population that you love serving will shift their scares and their fears. Help them with that, and you will be recession proof. So people often think, but is it an e-course? Is it a mastermind? Is it a done for you service? Is it in marketing? Is it in SEO? Is it in ads? Is it like, what is it? All those things are going to be there for all of those times, pre-post recession, pre-post anything. They're all going to be there. Your population is going to buy the thing that seems relevant to them, and the thing you can help them with. Stay tuned into that, Yolanda. That's a great question. Pip, it's been too long. I know. Need to get, oh my gosh, I would love to hang out with your group. You have an amazing group. All your Pip friends out there. Isn't she great? Would love to hang out. Yes. Will you send me an email or something, Pip? Would freaking love that. Pip, can't wait to talk again soon. All right. Well, I think I got time for one more question here. Maybe two. Let's see here. Lead generation. Yeah, let's tackle that for sure. And client acquisition. I think we already kind of went after the sales side of that. So let's go. Yeah. Tyrone, your client acquisition, lead gen, and YouTube. Paul Webb. Great question there. Okay. Here we go. Let's talk about lead gen. YouTube's a great one. Pick your channel. Let me just tell you that. Let's just start there. Pick your channel, folks. If you're a LinkedIn person, stay on LinkedIn. If you're a Facebooker, go Facebook. If you're Clubhouse, Clubhouse is great. YouTube, awesome. Do your thing. Bottom line is, if you understand a place and thrive in that place and you like love hanging out there, you should probably start there from a lead gen standpoint. There are a little bit of differences between all these platforms, right? Pick your spot, right? It's basically just a big neighborhood with lots of people and lots of access to lots of people. Okay, so easy. Ultimately, pick the neighborhood you like hanging out in, but just make sure you can do a couple of things. You want to be able to show up and present yourself well. All right. If you hate video, I happen to love video. That's why I do this stuff. If you hate video, you should be in a more blogging or written or maybe Clubhouse type community where you can be pure audio or pure writing. Like, don't try to show up in a place where you hate doing it. It'll just burn out, right? You won't last a month. All right. Be in a place you love, and then make sure you can present yourself well in that place. That's the first thing. And number two, you can direct message people. Okay. You have to be able to have relationships. There are a few platforms out there that make that harder to do. Unfortunately, YouTube and Clubhouse make it a little bit harder to DM people. You kind of got to take them offline and DM somewhere else or be in the main chat. That's fine, the main chat. But if you want to like say, hey, great questions, and you can keep that conversation going after your live or your post goes viral or whatever you do, you need to be able to reach out to people directly, because relationships, right? Ever since the beginning of being humans, and I think probably before that, we were relational beings. We've been relational beings for a long time. That's hardwired in us. You hear everybody say who's been successful, it's all about the relationships of their team, their clients, their network, whatever, relationships. You got to make sure you can direct message relationships so you can not bug the crap out of people, but so you can actually have real meaningful relationships. Those relationships will allow you to find out, where is that person for real? And do they need something you can help them with? And if they do, please offer your help, because they're struggling. But it's hard to do that in a group chat format. So, great question on lead gen. Be in the place you love being in. Make sure you can direct message people so you can have real, authentic relationships one-on-one, so everybody can be a little more real and not have to be all showy in public, right? And then get out there and do the work. Reach out to real people. Do real posts. Do your blogs, vlogs, podcasts, whatever it is you do. Make sure you can have real messages. That is the one weakness of the podcasting space, just like maybe Clubhouse or YouTube, is that those platforms are so freaking awesome. And I'm on all of those things, but we do most of our work in places like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, where you can actually DM people, because you got to be able to have relationships. Relationships matter. Oh my gosh, they matter. They really do. Until you're massively huge and like crushing an enormous ad spend and bringing in like bazillions of people, You got to be rocking those relationships. Just key, straightforward business 101. That is all the time I have. I think I took it to the edge. You guys do the work, get results. Obviously, my name is Chris Williams here with Group Coach Nation. If you have questions, go to groupcoachnation.com. That's where we hang out, right? We have tons of stuff there for you. You can figure out how to do this group coaching and mastermind thing. But keep asking your questions. Most of you ask these questions in direct messages, or we get to give you feedback and answers and stuff like that. That's awesome. See, that's why I mentioned direct messages, because it builds relationships. So great to see all you guys. Y'all just keep rocking it, keep crushing it. Do work, you get results, as we always say in all of our sessions. Just make sure you're doing the right work. Otherwise, we've all been in that heartache, and we don't want to be doing the wrong work. All right. Do work, get results.